Welcome to another episode of Chasing the Wind. I am Pastor Mark. Got a word for you today. The Lord's been talking to me about this. This is being recorded the week leading up to Father's Day. So I don't know, maybe when you're done here, you may want to send this to a father or just, I don't know, whatever you want to do with it. Do what you want with it. Because it's not just for fathers, it's really for all of us. So I want to talk to you about legacy today. Legacy. So you think of legacy, I want you to ponder this at home a little bit, okay? What does legacy mean to you? What would it look like to you? Legacy, as I think about legacy, is passing on something valuable. I am getting ready to spend some time with my soon-to-be 88-year-old dad. And he talking to him the other day, he goes, Mark, I'm going to be sending some stuff home with you. And I have some stuff, some heirlooms, legacy pieces, if you will. But I want to go further than that. What does it mean for you with a legacy? There's, my dad was all excited several years ago when he found out that there were actually ministers in our family line going back to Norway. And I also found out there's some of that going on my mom's side too. And so he thought that was so cool that there was a minister and that it was kind of, coming around again. The farmer thing, we got farmers in our legs, all this stuff. What are we passing on? And it's a good question for us to ponder. As I will soon be 59, in about a month, I'm starting to think about what is my legacy. What am I leaving to those behind me? Years ago, Steve Green, I believe it was, sang the song, "May all those who come behind us find us faithful." Is that how it goes, Andrew? Yeah, I think how it goes. Yep. Yeah. May those who come behind us find us faithful. I want to talk to you about that for a minute, Wind Chasers, because I think the Lord has a word for us on this. I was thinking about from Deuteronomy chapter 6. These are the commands, decrees, and laws the Lord your God directed me to teach you to observe in the land that you are crossing the Jordan to possess, so that you, your children, and their children after them may fear the Lord your God as long as you live by keeping his decrees and commands that I give you, and so that you may enjoy long life. Hear, O Israel, and be careful to obey so that it may go well with you, and that you may increase greatly in the land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord the God of your fathers promised you. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And love your, Jesus would go on to say, love your neighbor as yourself. But then Moses here says, these commandments that I give you today are to be upon your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the door frames of your houses and on your gates. What is the legacy you're leaving those behind you? As a pastor, I have a lot of little people that I want to leave a legacy to. I want to leave a legacy to them that they knew their pastor loved them. They knew their pastor loved the Lord. That he loved his wife and treated his wife well, that they see in me, hopefully, Jesus. And then that begs another question that came to me this week. How are you living that legacy now? This isn't something that, my dad was a great mechanic. I can remember watching him stand in an engine compartment of a vehicle. Remember, you could do that. Now you can't do that. but he would be standing there working on the car, like almost standing in the thing. And he was a diesel mechanic. And it's funny, my mom would send me out to, hey, go out there and find out what your dad's doing. And so you learn how to work on a car. And I'd go out there and I'd say, Dad, what are you doing? Well, and then he'd keep doing what he's doing. And I'd get bored. I'm like, I ain't going to stand around here. I'm going out to play, After about 3 times being told by my mother, go out there and find out what your dad's doing. I said, he won't answer my questions. She gave up. She was like, fine. So now I have other people who did that stuff for me because I don't know how to do it. And that's okay. But I'm YouTube certified on many, many things these days. And it is helping me. Now I'm learning how to do these things and asking questions. And, never quit learning, people. There's a good legacy piece to give to people. Never quit learning. But here's the thing that we really need to, all of us who call ourselves believers, followers of Jesus, we need to be leaving a legacy. We need to be leaving a legacy. Living your life in such a way that the preacher doesn't have to lie at your funeral. Okay, that's why I'm, probably Andy and Bob are on my list of people that are going to do my funeral. I'm rethinking that, by the way. But anyway, I know there's some people I would let speak at my funeral. But anyway, about that legacy thing. It's very interesting. Fire, floods. Think about the hurricane that came through North Carolina and stuff. People's stuff was washed away. It's gone. You need to be praying for Pastor Mel, because he lost 3 golf balls 2 weeks ago golfing. I hope he watches this so he can find out. Poor guy, he's just, we're counseling him through it, but he lost 3 golf balls, and, we're hoping that he'll recover. But, stuff gets lost. I was showing someone some of my family heirlooms the other day, some of the antique toy tractors that my dad has refurbished and stuff, and those are great things. But here's what I know: a fire in my home could destroy them. People have lost pictures and everything. The fires out in LA last year, people lost everything. But there is something that we need to be thinking about, the things that matter, people, the things that matter that we are passing on to other people. What are those things? Not even what are those things. What is that one thing that is most important? I think about when Jesus was at the home of Mary and Martha, and was Martha's all worried about dinner and everything else, and tell Mary that he goes, you're worried about things that don't really matter. What matters, Mary knows, is important. Folks, I don't need to go any farther with this, other than to say, if you have Jesus, you need to be passing him on to those behind you. They don't even have to be your children or your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren. If God puts them in front of you, you need to pass on your legacy even to them. So I am going to leave it right there, Wind Chasers. Let you chew on that a little bit. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask you one more question. It's like the preacher saying, in conclusion, it doesn't mean anything. One more question that was posed to me. What is your plan with your legacy for the next 5 to 10 years? Today is important to live it out, but what would you like to see your legacy in the next 5 to 10 years? And then work toward that. That the things that I pass on in the next 5, 10 years, they matter. Okay? Now, I will leave you with that. I am Pastor Mark. Thanks for joining me. Grace and peace. Till next time.